We and Our Mountains. Have you seen this movie? I'm sure you did. And I think you will agree with me that this is a masterpiece of the Armenian cinematography. And every time you watch this movie, you discover something new on a broad range of topics, starting from politics and even on agricultural economics. I would like to share a piece of that movie that I consider very important for each farmer, an economist, and even a policymaker. Let's watch that.
Կարծում եք իբրես ճիշտ է ոչխարն այսպես քաղաք քշելը։ Նախ մենք ոչխար ծախող չենք, պետությունն է ոչխար առնող։ Մենք ոչխար պահող ենք։ Մենք չպիտի գնանք իր դուռը, թե ոչխար չես առնի, ինքը պիտի գա մեր դուռը, թե ոչխար չունես մեզ տալու։ Երկրորդ, մեր դուռը պիտի գա 100 բեռնատար մեքենայով։ Ոչխարները լցնի մեքենաներն ու կես ժամում սպանդանոց հասցնի։ 830 ոչխար է, 2 օրում 70 կիլոմետր ճանապարհ, ամեն մի ոչխարը այս 2 օրում կկորցնի ամենակիչը 2 կիլոգրամ քաշ, 830-ը 2-ով 1660 կիլոգրամ, 16 ցենտներ մսի կորուստ, 1600-ը 20-ի բաժանած 80 ոչխար։ Եթե մեկը այդքան ավել ոչխար է հանձնում պետությանը, պետությունը նրան հերոսի կոչում է տալիս։ Նկարը Մոսկվաներից հետ թերթերում տպում են, մի 1000 ռուբլի էլ պարգև են տալիս։ Իսկ որ մեր աչքի առջև 16 ցենտները կորչում է, դրա համար ոչ ոք ոչ մի բերան նախատինքի խոսք չի լսելու։ Այնինչ դատարան էր հարկավոր։
It's amazing, eh? It's amazing how literate were the Armenian farmers in 1960s. In 1 minute, Pavle was able to recognize that he is losing life weight of the animal, calculate how much it was lost, and even suggest that by the law they are to be imprisoned. So he's talking about prevention, how to prevent the loss. In today's terms, these 80 sheep, which is now in Armenia top exportable product, would be worth about 4 million dram. There will be no farmer that would like to have such a loss if you realized about that. But in the modern world, it happens over and over again in many sectors of the economy. Globally, food waste and loss is a hot topic today. About 1/3 of the food produced in the world for human consumption gets wasted or lost. This is nearly 1.3 billion tons, or more than half of the world's annual cereal crop. And the issue should concern not only the rich, developed countries, but also small, developing countries such as Armenia. Because in Armenia, agriculture and the food processing together make about 30% of the GDP of the country. We have a lot of people employed in agriculture, about 36% of the workforce. And most importantly, we still have a high rate of rural poverty, about 32% nationwide, but in certain regions we have even more, alarming rate of rural poverty. So preventing food waste and loss will have a positive impact on raising incomes, improving food security, food quality and safety, on economic development, and on environment. We need to recognize that the food waste and loss also represents waste of resources used in the production. Like in my case, if I lose apples and the wheat, then I also lose the resources I used in the production of these apples and the wheat, like energy, water, land, input. So irrespective of the economic development of the country, the food waste and loss should be kept to a minimum. We are losing food across the food supply chain, starting from egg production to the consumption stage. In the field, because of improper harvest timing, poor machinery, mechanical damage. In the post-handling and the storage stage, because of inappropriate storage conditions, poor temperature control. In the processing stage, because of mechanical damage during packaging, during processing. In groceries and markets, because of unsold food, outdated food, poor storage conditions. And in our homes, also because of wrong shopping behavior, plate waste, and again, some poor storage. In fact, I would like to mention here that the loss is measured for the products that is directed to human consumption. Because sometimes people, especially in rural areas, argue that we don't waste anything, we don't trash anything, we just feed to our cows and pigs. It's kind of an expensive food for the cow, right? I wonder if they ask the cow what to buy for the dinner. As to asking, we did a survey on food waste and loss in Armenia on several selected commodities, and we got shocking results. In fact, the methodology is based on Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, and all allocation and the conversion factors have been considered. So here what we have. About 30% of the wheat available for human consumption in Armenia gets wasted or lost every year. This is about 129,000 tons. The monetary value of that will be $32 million. And this is in a country where wheat is a strategic crop, very important for food security. We are a net importer of wheat. We are importing about 60% of the total wheat we need in the country. If we just add these three numbers and convert to money, it will be 40 billion drams. Our statistics states that in order to eliminate poverty from our country, we need about 84 billion drams. So we are throwing away, just in the case of these three commodities, about 40 billion. So where exactly we trash the food? It depends on each commodity. In the case of potato, the most of it happens during the production stage, mostly due to mechanical damage in the harvest time, and also some in the storage because of the poor condition. And it happened to myself. A couple of years ago, I rented a cold storage facility to keep my apples for the new year, as many farmers do. And I lost 30% of it. It was about 1.5 tons that time. And this was because of poor temperature control. There was not the proper disinfection done, poor boxing. So overall, it was poor storage facility. And many farmers still face such problem. In the case of wheat, about 26% of the loss happens during the production. And these last two numbers, like 22, 15, which is the later stage of the supply chain, 37% of wheat, or rather bread and pastry, we are losing in our homes or supermarkets. The wheat loss at the farm level only equals to $9 million. Or in other terms, we can buy 90 brand new high technology combine harvesters. It's kind of ridiculous, right? From one side, because of mechanical damage due to poor machinery, we are throwing away 90 brand new combine harvesters every year. In fact, in Armenia, we have 1,400 harvesters. And according to statistics, about 83% of them are operational. But how operational are they? It's a big question. I remember back in mid-90s when I was studying at the Economics University. I see a lot of young people. I'm sure you studied depreciation, yes? I studied physical depreciation, financial depreciation, accounting depreciation, then a kind of a funny term, moral depreciation. Have you heard of a moral depreciation? Kind of a Soviet term, right? But I didn't realize that until in Canada, a couple of years later, I saw a combine harvester working in the field without the driver, through a GPS-controlled satellite, just the high-tech stuff. Then I realized, compared to this machine, our machines will be morally depreciated. So what should Armenian farmer do, or what the farmer is doing when a physically and morally depreciated machine like this one is trying to harvest the field of the farmer? He is praying. Because you never know what will happen to that machine while the harvest is over. But one thing is certain, until the harvest is over, farmer looks as tired as the machine. So what to do? Let's act just as Pavle from the movie suggests. Recognize, calculate, and prevent. Recognize the fact that we are wasting and losing food. We need to make people aware of this very important issue. Calculate the amount lost. As Peter Drucker said, if you don't measure, you are not able to manage. And prevent. Of course, I'm not saying that we need to jail everyone, as Pavle says, but we can educate the farmer. We can invest in resource-efficient technologies. We can invest in new machinery. We can build modern, enough cold storage facilities for our farmers, or simply change our behavior. Gönel Ghazaryan, a livestock farmer in RP village of Vayozdor, already changed his livestock management behavior and farming practices. He is transporting all his animals to the mountainous pastures using trucks, like Pavle suggested. And he saved, last year, 4 tons of animal life weight. After this study, I also completely changed my food purchasing behavior. I don't think my wife is happy about that. I'm now acting as a food guard in my home. I stopped purchases of bulk quantities of food. I'm now doing more frequent purchases with less quantity, paying attention to the storage conditions, etc. And the results are visible in our family budget. If some people can change behavior, why can't others do the same? If we all change our behavior collectively as a country, and if our development people and policymakers pay more attention to food waste and losses and the prevention mechanisms, the results will be visible in our country budget. And pretty soon, we will be able to eliminate poverty from our country. So go home and please save food. Thank you.